Hey guys, it's Chris, and I am filming my wrap-up in sections because I have to, and because the last time I tried this, it didn't work, and I don't have time to film a whole thing. So it's going to be in sections, and the sections are going to be timestamped below, so you can skip a section if you want. Physical books, audiobooks, ebooks, gay romances, and eroticas. Those are the sections this month for June, and I know it's the middle of July, and I'm just getting this up. But that's just how it happened. And because it's vacation and I'm a mess. So we're just going to get started with the physical books. John Green, Paper Towns is a book that I read last month, and I did not like it very much. I can't stand Margot. I don't really like Q. The thing I did like about this book is that I thought the characters of character were written really well. Radio, and I think her name's Angela. I really thought they were written well. I didn't like Ben either. I thought he was like the type of comic relief that I didn't like. So I ended up not ranking this book yet because I feel like I'm torn. Because I liked the first half of the book and I didn't like the second half. So no rating yet. Next book was Like Me by Shelley Wright. It actually wasn't the next book. These are not in order. Like Me is a book by Shelley Wright. She's a country star. This is a book about like her experience growing up being closeted. And it was very kind of negatively tinted. And that's why I ended up giving it a 3. I think her documentary, which is like after she came out, is a lot better than her actual book. But I really do love her. She gave an amazing speech at a conference I went to a couple of years ago. More than a couple of years ago. I'm old, like 3 or 4 years ago. But it was a really amazing speech. She's great. I just give the book a 3 though. And the last physical book that I read was More Happy Than Not by Em Silvera. And I gave this book 5 stars because it is amazing, emotional and psychological roller coaster that everyone should read. It's about lots of things, but I'm just going to put a link to the review that I talk about it, and I basically ramble, but I do tell you what it's about in that review. So just go check out my review, and you'll understand why I love it and what it is about. But look at that cover. That cover is beautiful. More happy than not. Okay. On to eBooks. It is 5 in the morning, and I am filming the ebook section of this video, so I can get this wrap up, guys, and the romance section. But let's go. The first one is The Wish Must Burn by Danielle Page, and The Wish Must Burn is the prequel book to the Dorothy Must Die series, one of the prequel books. I picked this one up because I really wanted to see more from the character of Jelia after what happened in Dorothy Must Die, and I was not disappointed with it. I really liked seeing a little bit from Jelia. It actually made me want to read the other prequels, but I'm not sure if I actually will. I'm not really a big prequel person, let's be honest, but I like this a lot. Next is Misfits by Garrett Lee. I absolutely loved Misfits. I'm probably going to put a review of it up a little late, but I think I'm going to because it was just a book that I want to talk about. It's about these 3 guys who end up going into a polyamorous relationship. Tom and Cass are in a relationship for a long time before this, and then Jake sleeps with Tom, and then it kind of goes from there. Jake has Tourette's syndrome. You don't see a lot of books with characters with Tourette's syndrome, so I really, really liked the way it was handled and the way it was done. It's also about the restaurant business. That Tom and Cass own a chain of restaurants. And it's such a good book. It's just so good. I'm probably going to do a review of it. I've written a review of it, and I can link that below. And I will probably go ahead and do that because you guys should just... It's such a good book. It's such a good book. Next was The Rise and Fall of the Theater Geek. DNF'd at about 25%, skimmed to about 50%. I just couldn't do it. DNF review. Next is Untouchables by S.A. Starcevec. This is a queer superhero romance kind of story. Ethan Elliott, really fantastic character. He's not a I'm worried about my sexuality type of character. He is out to his parents at the beginning of the book. He doesn't even think about coming out before he does it at the superhero base once he actually becomes a superhero, because he starts off as kind of like a normal kid who then finds out he has superpowers. But when he gets to the superhero base, he's just like, yeah, I'm my ex-boyfriend, or like my boyfriend. He just kind of just drops it like it's no big deal, and it isn't a big deal. I love Elliot for that. Also, I'm pretty sure he is Asian. I wasn't like sure. I'm pretty sure the main character is a person of color. I'm pretty sure. I think he's Asian. And that was really cool. I was like, yeah, yeah, okay. There are a lot of other people, characters of color in the book that in the superhero base. They were just really well written. I thought, even in this very little short novella, I thought they were well written. And there's a gender character in the book whose pronouns are used correctly the entire time, and I absolutely loved that part as well. SA Star Spec's going to make this into a triplet thing, so there can be two other novellas, and definitely worth buying. I think I bought it. It's actually an ebook that I bought. Yeah, it might be the only ebooks I bought on my ebook list, actually. Most of these are free. Alright, so we're going to jump into the game Romance Erotica section. All of these are free. They were free upon my painting of them. So either on Amazon they were free or free somewhere else online. And I will put links to some of them if you want me to. If you want to find out where one is specifically, I can just link it. Most of these are just on Amazon. But if you want me to give you a link to one, just let me know in the comments and I will do that for you. You and a Billion Blue Tiles by You and a Billion Blue Tiles by Missy Welsh. I wanted to read this for so freaking long. Like, I knew the story existed. I knew it was free. I just couldn't find it on the internet anywhere. And then I just was like, hey, maybe Missy Welsh has a website. And there it was. So I found it. Really cute story. It's these two college guys who, one of them, this is their first time being with someone else who's the same sex, even though they're never gay. The other one's been with people before, and that makes this person really insecure, and they're so cute, and I love them. And the Billion Blue Tiles that's the shower in the dorm room that they meet at. And I thought the relationship was like really sweet and cute, and I really loved it. I loved the little flash forward at the end to see what happened with their relationship. Really good book. And just like you, it's from the Real Story Safe Sex Project. I love the Real Story Safe Sex Project. I'm going to do a whole video on it at some point, and it's basically a bunch of books about people. It's about gay safe sex. So there's all these books pretty much have sex in it, or have someone about to have sex in it, but not really. You know what I mean? Like it's about safe sex essentially. And this is just like you is one of the bigger stories out of the series. It's about a character who's born with HIV and how he has to tell his boyfriend. And oh my god, this is something I recommend and something I'm probably going to link below in the description box because you should just go and get it. Just go get it and read it. It's so good. Conjuring Smile is a lot different from Just Like You. It's a book about these two guys who are in a relationship and they play this role-playing game with their friends. It's very Dungeons and Dragons-esque. It might be Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not really sure. It might be. But their sex scene, which happens in the book, is paralleled with like their characters in the role-playing game, and it's really creative and really clever, and I really enjoyed it. And it's like I think it might be their first time having sex, actually getting to actually have sex. It's their first time doing it throughout their long relationship. And it was such a clever thing going back and forth between them fighting the snake monster thing and actually trying to have sex and figure out how to work a condom and things like that. It was just hilarious. It was freaking funny. Just go read it. Dirty Cop. I didn't like Dirty Cop. I think I liked it better my second time reading it because once I got to the end and saw the twist of Dirty Cop, I had to go back and read it. I don't like things where it seems like someone's being forced to cheat because it's like the character is like gets pulled over by this cop, and then he runs off, and the cop comes in the house and then makes him sleep with him. And I thought that the character had a boyfriend, and it was making me uncomfortable. But the second time around reading it, after I figured out the twist, was a lot better. But still, meh. Seduced by My Roommate. Really simple story, really simple plot. Kind of seen the plot before. But it's like, hey, geeky roommate goes to a party with his more party-esque roommate, finds out his roommate's gay, and then sex happens. Not long afterward, really. It wasn't even that well written. It was sexy, but it was like bad. It was just like meh. The next two are straight up erotica, and they're from the Gay and Stuff series, but Anita Dick. Yeah, I said that without laughing. I'm so proud of myself for that. Anita Dick wrote these two stories. First is Greg's Gay Hollywood Threesome. I really enjoyed that story, surprisingly enough. I was like, it's like Greg was a really interesting character. I liked, so he goes to this audition with for this place. He wants to get out of his little small town. And the two guys, him start hanging out, the two actors. And he shows them around the town to this barn, and then barn sex between the three of them. My only problem with the book was that it ended way too early. It ended before his audition. And I wanted to see him get the audition and like get the spot on the show so he can go to LA with them and they can continue their relationship. Because I was like OT3ing this. I was like, yes, Greg and these two guys are like cute and they have this like sexual chemistry and this is you three are supposed to be together. And I want you to be able to go with them. I want Greg to be able to go with them to Hollywood and work on the show. The other book kind of had a similar problem. It was paying the gay biker, and it ended before it looked like it looks like we're going to go have another sex scene, but we're not going to show it to you. It was just a weird ending. Also, it was weird. There was public sex in it. Yeah, that's the only sex of it. It was public bathrooms. It was bathroom sex, and someone walks in, and they just kind of keep going. And also it's called paying the gay biker. He's paying this biker to fix his vehicle by having sex with them. It was just kind of mad. This one is a romance, but it doesn't have a sex scene, but I really think this is a romance. This is something that was such a romantic story. It's called Luscious Love, and it's about this guy who is deaf, and he goes to apply for this job at a chocolate shop. And the guy who he works there is a bear. He's like a big, muscular, hairy guy. And the guy hires him, and the guy starts, it's just the cutest thing ever. The guy starts to learn sign language so that he can better communicate with him. He makes the shop more accessible eventually. And it's just their friendship, and then romance, and then love, and then and then my heart. And I'm just like, But there is some chocolate involved in the sex, which is not a bad thing. I just didn't like reading it, I don't think, very much. It was kind of weird to read. But like I wasn't reading it for the sex scene. I was reading it for their beautiful, beautiful romance. And also there was a weird kind of ending thing, which was trying to wrap up a loose end, I'm assuming, because there was something that happened earlier that didn't get wrapped up, and they were like, hey, here's us wrapping it up. And I was like, you could have just got rid of that thing from earlier and got rid of this thing at the end, and I would have been happy if you ended it right after their sex scene. Totally okay with that because I'm like, their love has been like consummated, and I'm just like, yes, I'm done with the story. I loved Ask the Passengers because Ask the Passengers was about a girl who did not want to be labeled. She knew she liked girls and she just did not want the label. She didn't understand why she had to label herself as anything. I don't think she ever even considered straight as an option. She never considered, oh, I might be straight or I might like guys. She just knows she likes girls but doesn't want to be labeled. And I'm like, Astrid, you don't need no label, girl. You don't need no label. That's how I'm doing it when I read the book, at least. And so that's one of the reasons I really loved it. I love some of the side characters a lot. I wasn't actually a big fan of love interest. Again, me and not liking the love interest in these books is becoming a thing, and it's so problematic for me. But I did really like something A.S. King did in this book is Astrid likes to send up love to the passengers of these planes that she keeps watching in her backyard as they go above. And we get to see little passages where the people in the planes we get to see their perspectives on their lives, or we get to see little bits of their lives, or what they're thinking while they're on the plane, or like who they're talking to on the plane. It's just so beautifully done. It's about like love and acceptance and despair and forgiveness and regret and everything. And these little passages on these planes just made me like sit there and just go, wow, every single time I'm just sitting there just like, wow. And then we have to go back into Astrid's story. And I'm just like, whoa, I need a second. It was really, really beautifully done. I love it. Definitely a book that I'd recommend to you. And I liked the audiobook as well. I liked it. Definitely liked hearing it on audiobook. I don't know if I would have liked this book as much reading it in physical copy, to be honest. So there's that. Trish's book is great because Trish is one of my favorite characters, and she has the power to control the weather. Also, this is like a middle grade book. These kids are like 10 years old. They just found out they had abilities. In the first book, they're mages, and now they're at this mage school together, and they have built this bond. It's a very brother and sisterly bond. It's one boy and three girls, and it's really, really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bond that they have that also starts to combine their magic. And so they become stronger, and since Trish can control the weather, that's really not a good thing for her. She really needs to learn how to kind of control herself. And some events happen in this book that make her go a little bit out of control, let's just say. I really like this book. I really love the series. Trish is one of my favorite characters, and she has some actions in this book that really affect her in the future of her series. It affects the way she kind of grows up and the person that she becomes by her book Shatterglass and the Circle Open series. Like, I feel like when rereading Shatterglass, and because I reread Shatterglass a while ago, like before I started the channel, I understand a lot about why Trish is the way she is when she gets to Shatterglass because of what happened in this book to her and the things that she does and the things that she regrets. And I really think that this book is amazingly good for the way that these 10-year-olds are written and the things that they have to go through, and then also how that affects them in their future. And I'm really excited to read Dodger's book because I don't think I ever read Dodger's book. I say reread, but like I think I skipped that book when I originally read the series because I was like so young. I think I just skipped Dodger's book because I didn't have it. You know, it wasn't our school library. So I'm really excited to read that. Trish's book was awesome. Alright, we are about to go into a bunch of Dr. Kink. Yay! Switch examination and the calling for the nurse are from the same series, and I'm going to just talk about them really fastly. Hated Switch examination. Dr. Osmond is Dr. Oz bad. He made me uncomfortable, and I didn't like him. Second book, he was also in that book, and he still made me uncomfortable when he was sleeping with his nurse. Calling for the nurse. But the second half of Calling for the Nurse is just the nurse and the receptionist, and they're not a sex scene. It's just kind of like them being friends, because the receptionist has a breakup and the nurse goes to comfort him. And I was like, the second half of the book was just like this really romantic and sweet scene between the two of them where there's no kissing, there's no romance really, and there's no sex, but it's just like that they have feelings for each other, and it was lovely. And it's setting up the third book, which is supposed to be the receptionist and the nurse's book, where maybe they'll finally act on their feelings. And I kind of want to get the third book just because of this. So Dr. Osmond Dr. Osmond is Dr. Oz bad, but I still like this book. The next two where the doctor is in, showing him everything. This is about a super insecure 25-year-old goes to the doctor to be like, yo, is my body okay? Before he wants to go out and sleep with some people, and then he sleeps with the doctor, and guess what? He's like, oh yeah, I must be so attractive, and I must be totally ready for this, because look, this doctor wanted to have sex with me, and I'm totally going to come back to the doctor. I hated this fucking story so much. The main character was so fucking annoying. Oh, God, get out. Anyway, Dr. Misconduct, his receptionist, is cool. And this is about a receptionist who has a medical clinic, and he got a job at a hospital at some doctor's office because he thought the doctor was attractive, and he has a medical kink. I'll say, yeah. So the first part of the book is him fantasizing. The second part of the book is actually them getting together. It was cute. I actually really like their relationship, and therefore this story is a thumbs up from me. Definitely a thumbs up for me, especially out of all this batch of Doctor stories. It is actually my favorite one. Favorite overall Doctor Erotica story. Very, very good Doctor Misconduct. That sounds horrible. That was my wrap up. I'm not doing a TBR because it is the middle of the month and I would not stick to it anyway. I know me. I read 2 of my books from my last TBR. Next month I might try one. Who knows? We'll see. But love you all. I will see you in my next video. Hope you guys read some awesome books. If you want links to any of these free books from my eBooks or other sections, just let me know. If you read any of the books and you want to say anything about them, totally comment that in the comments as well. I will see you all next time.